This is Internet Business Mastery, episode 117.
In a world where bosses control your life and thoughts of escape fill your mind, where inspiration seems dead and cynicism rules the masses, you have a desire to break free. You feel the need to take control. Now, there exists a place where the secrets of freedom and wealth are given to those who believe. InternetBusinessMastery.com. Free your mind.
Hello and welcome to Internet Business Mastery Online at InternetBusinessMastery.com. I'm Sterling.
And I'm Jay.
And we're here to help you escape the 9-to-5 and live the lifestyle of your dreams by turning your life's passion into a profitable internet business, even if you're just getting started today. On this episode of Internet Business Mastery, we're going to discuss how to magnify your money by converting more buyers. And in the quick tip, we share our office chairs that allow you to work in comfort. We'd also like to remind you that if you'd like to get a jump start on creating your own profitable internet business using our proven system, you can claim your risk-free trial membership to the Internet Business Mastery Academy by going to freeaudiogift.com. So Jay, what's going on? Seems like I say the exact same thing every time, so I was thinking, what else could I say? And it didn't work. There you go. What's going on, Jay? I guess that should be the fun of it for me, is finding something new every single time. Jay, what's up?
What's new, Mr. Magoo? You just like say something silly. Your job will be to make me laugh.
Oh, great.
Every time. And if I keep a straight face, then you failed.
I failed at the welcome.
All right,
let's
so
see. What up?
The thing on my mind right now is our new website. I was actually just looking at some stuff this morning with the new website. Actually, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I have been the one toiling away on it, because you've actually done most of the work on it, but just, putting the last few final touches. I think this is the first time we've mentioned, though, on the show that we do have a new website design coming down the pipe. It's just time for a refresh and to put some new ideas and best practices into mind. So I definitely keep an eye out for that. In fact, by the time this episode's up, we're kind of hoping that the site's already up too. So you might want to head over to internetbusinessmastery.com and see if the new design's up. If not, well, then email us and scold us sternly, because we really need to get it done. Great. That means we're being perfectionists and we keep going, just one more thing before we launch it. But,
saying that now that it's, a couple of weeks before it should be launched and before this episode comes out, now I'm going, nope, we got to get it out. It's been months.
Nothing like a little accountability. You just tell the world, and then it's got to happen. Yeah,
exactly. I'm looking at it right now just going, oh, it's so nice. How many years has it been since the old website?
I believe that site went up. I believe it went up the same year that I can remember, I think it being beginning of 2008, January, being in your old place in Salt Lake City, planning that out. In fact, my wife Melanie was there at the time too, and the three of us hashed out for a good day. So that launched sometime at the beginning of 2008. So it's been about 3 years, I think, that site's been up.
Oh my gosh. Feels like a lot longer. And
before that, it was 2 years with just this old, cheesy, free WordPress theme that, now I cringe to think about the fact that we used it for 2 years, but hey, it worked, right? Here we are.
Yep.
Just goes to show, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. So there you go.
Well, and the cool thing with doing this new one now was we had all these tips and tricks that we've been teaching and using and other stuff that we've done, and just didn't have the time yet to make sure all of them, or as many as humanly possible, were in the actual IBM site. So it's nice to see it all there and working and looking good. So very excited about that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So go check it out.
Well, as well as the new video that we give if you swap your email for it and get on the list, and we've got a new system in there and cool information for people and free information if they opt in there on the homepage. So that's an exciting thing that includes an awesome webinar and some other stuff. So definitely check that out as well if you're not already on the list.
And now, the features segment.
All right, Sterling, let's talk about making some cash.
Ah, nice.
How do you like cash? Cash
I love
is good.
that subject.
So this is part of our Money Magnifier series, and as you'll recall, last time in part 1 of the Money Magnifier series, we talked about boosting your traffic, which is one of the first of the 4 ways to make more money online. And the second way, then, is, of course, to convert more of that traffic into buyers. If you got a nice sales funnel set up, where you get people to your site, you get them onto your email list, they get a series of emails, they finally get sold into your membership program, and then maybe get sold into buying other things. Each of those steps, there's some percentage of people who take the next action, signing up or buying or whatever it might be, and then there's some percentage of people who, for whatever reason, just, abandon the process, unsubscribe, leave your site, decide that it's not the right fit for them or whatever the case may be.
Which is actually the majority of people do that.
Right. It's a majority. I mean, it's not uncommon for you to have a page where, 80% of the people don't opt in, and that's fine. But obviously, the more you can increase the percentages, even by incremental amounts, it's going to translate again into more money coming out the other end of your cash machine, of your business, the sales funnel that you've put together. So in this installment, we want to talk about different ways that you can, in fact, we're going to give you 4 different ways, 4 different kinds of split tests that work really well for boosting your profits and the amount of money that you're making. But that actually should probably start off with just a quick conversation about split testing and what split testing is all about. So maybe you could explain that for us real quick, Sterling.
Oh, great.
Put you on the spot.
So for example, actually even right now we're split testing our sales page for the Academy. And basically what that is right now we have, let's say, a video sales page. So we'll call that page A. And then we've got one that doesn't have a video, and that's page B. And what we basically do is, through software, we're able to send equal amounts of traffic back and forth from A to B to each one of those to see which one converts better, which means which one gets the most people to take action, which would be to buy the Academy. And you can, we actually even have an ABC split test going on that right now. We've got 3 separate pages with just different things on it to see which one converts better. And that's basically split testing between 2 different opt-ins or sales pages or whatever, headlines on a sales page. There's a bunch of different things to it, but that's very basically what split testing is.
Yeah, so that's a great example about split testing. And the whole idea here is to find out just the reality of which one's working better. I mean, you can make educated guesses about which headline you think your audience might resonate more with, or which video might get people to take action more. But the best way to really get into their mind and see, what's going to work is to just look at the numbers. And so if we've got 2 different sales pages, one that's a video sales page, one that's a text sales page, we might have assumed it's like, oh, the video sales page is going to work better. But in the end, we might see, okay, 100 people visited the text sales page and 5 of those bought, so 5% conversion, and 100 people visited the video sales page and 3 of those bought, so it's a 3% conversion. Well, clearly a 5% conversion is better, so now we would move to using the text one more. Now, I'm just using that as an arbitrary example. I'm not saying that's the actual what it turned out, because it's going to vary for your purposes depending on what your audience is. And actually, we're in the middle of testing that for ourselves right now, so we don't have the numbers quite yet. But in that way, so if we did that test and we decided, okay, the text page works best, so now we're going to go to, now that becomes our standard, our baseline, or what sometimes people call the control in an experiment or in a test that you're doing. And so now you go, okay, let's use the text sales page, and now we're going to try 2 different headlines. And you test those against each other and see which one converts best. And you know that the original headline was converting at 5%. So now let's try another one and see if we can get that one that might be 5.1 or 2 or 3% or 6%, because every little incremental increase then leads to more money. And just, one little split test after the other, you can bring your conversions up quite high and hence bring up your income up quite a bit as well. All right, so let's talk about some of the different things that you can split test now that we've talked a little bit about split testing itself. And then after that, we'll talk about a couple tools that we use for split testing some of these different things. So 4 split tests for more profit. Number 1 thing that you can split test is the opt-in incentive that you have on it might be in your sidebar on your site or on a landing page that you're sending people to. So if you go to internetbusinessmastery.com, on the right side, you'll see we have a form for people to sign up for our email list. And that form has a certain incentive that it's offering, whether it's an ebook or a video. And so by changing up what that incentive is, some people, you find out that your audience might prefer getting a downloadable video as their incentive. Or you might find out that your audience prefers getting the ebook downloaded as an incentive. And actually, here's a little hint. The best thing to test is actually the headline or the title of what you call that opt-in incentive. And we call it the opt-in incentive because you're saying, hey, sign up for our free email newsletter and we'll send for free this download, this video or ebook or checklist that you can't get anywhere else. And so it kind of entices people to go, oh yeah, sure, I'll give up my email in order to get that in exchange. But the headline itself has been proven to be the thing that is the most likely to convince people whether or not to sign up for your email newsletter and get that free bonus. So you might actually split test having the exact same video as the download, but calling it two different things and see which one people sign up for more. So that would be the number one split test that you should try, is the opt-in incentive, and more specifically the opt-in incentive headline. Because that's at the front of your sales funnel, and if you can boost that from, say, 5% to 6%, then it just means more people proceeding down the path of your sales funnel. Now, on a home page where you've got it over to the sidebar, and that home page gets hit by all kinds of traffic, that some of it's targeted, some of it's not. It might not be uncommon to have a 2 or 3% conversion, and if you're doing like a 5 to 10%, you're probably doing pretty well. But see, like a landing page, for instance, on the show, we often mention freeaudiogift.com. If people land on that page from the show, well, by then they found our show, they've decided to listen to it, they listened through the show, so they've gotten to know and like us and trust us a little more, and they've taken that effort to go and type in the address. So on that page, we get like 50% opt-ins. And, so that's not uncommon to have higher when it's a much more targeted landing page like that. But that's why you have to have the baseline and test things, because you just never know, how different things are going to work. And so it all comes down to having the numbers. All right, the number 2 thing you can split test is the sales page. Like we mentioned, having a text versus a video. But an even simpler thing to do is to just test the headline. The headline's the first thing that people see. It determines whether or not people are going to read the rest of the page or check it out. So, of course, trying different headlines on your sales page could boost your conversions in the end. So that's the second thing that we recommend trying as well. Number 3 is what we mentioned that we're testing right now, and that is a text sales page versus a video sales page. And a lot of people say, oh, video's the king now. Video's going to convert more. And sometimes that's absolutely true. But you don't want to make assumptions. Your audience, for whatever reason, they might prefer skimming through text very quickly rather than having to watch a video. Everyone's kind of different. And you might test having a version that's a video with some text below it as well. But again, you don't know until you test it. All right, and the fourth thing that you can split test is the price. And a lot of times we get asked that question, what price should I sell my product for? And there's some things you can do an educated guess of going out, seeing what other things are selling for in the market, and then trying to sell at a competitive price, or actually often it works to even try to outprice or do a higher price than other people, because then people think, oh, there must be something really good about this other one. It's interesting how people's minds work. But again, you don't know until it comes down to the numbers. And so you can have, half the people hit a page where maybe your price is $47, and then half the people hit a page where the price is $27. And in the end, you just want to see, well, which one made more money for me per visitor? Because then even if at $27, you might think, oh, well, I'll make less money. Well, what if you sell 3 times as many? Well, then clearly you're going to make more money in the end and have more customers, identify more customers, buying customers at the same time. So price is also a very effective thing to split test as well. All right, so how do you do all this split testing? What are some of the different tools that you can use? Well, in our recommended email list manager, which is Aweber, which you can sign up for by going to getmyemaillist.com, well, they have excellent, statistics where you can set up 2 different web forms, and they'll track each of the web forms separately, how many visitors hit that web form, how many people actually signed up through the web form, and then they'll give you a percentage in the end of how many unique visitors, what percentage of your unique visitors. So maybe you had a different headline on each of them, and in that way it becomes very easy to see the results using the statistics within Aweber. Another tool that we really like, and in fact this is one that we just started using, is called Visual Website Optimizer. This is a really handy way to kind of have, if you have 2 different sales pages and you want to say, well, hey, show half the people this one, half the people that one, and then track in the end, which one got me more sales. This is a very powerful. A lot of the people, a lot of our colleagues are using this. This is one we just started using. And so it's really easy to set up these kind of split tests and get those statistics back, those numbers back very, very easily. So you can check that one out by going to internetbusinessmastery.com/VWO, which stands for Visual Website Optimizer. So /VWO, and that'll forward you over to check out that tool as well.
And really, this whole testing idea or part of the business is what makes it so that if you're unsure as to what's going on, like if you're going, I got lots of people coming to the site, but not many people are opting in, or not many people are buying from the sales page. It takes out the guessing part. You can guess just to try different tests, but then you will see actual numbers that will help you make those decisions, so we don't have to just wonder what's not working or what is working. Or if you hear, we hear all the time that video works better, and we're like, well, we'll see. I don't just take it from somebody saying that it's going to work in every single market every single time. We can actually get the exact numbers and know exactly what our people want. And that's the goal, is to serve your market with exactly what they want in the way they want to get the information, consume the information, buy the product, the exact product they want. It makes it so this isn't a total guessing game as to how the whole business operates. We can get very specific with most of this stuff, if not all of it. What can't we get specific on? Is there anything?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, right off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. But the upside of that is, with testing, we can figure it all out, including even just asking. Surveys that we've talked about a lot, surveys mixed with testing makes this not a magical thing when you start a business and go, I'll just throw something out there and see what happens. We don't have to do that anymore. Again, another awesome part of internet business. But anyway, I just wanted to add that 2 cents in there, that this split testing stuff, why it's so incredibly important.
Yeah, it's a very scientific way to build a business. And the people that we know that build very, viable, strong, growing businesses, this is the way they do it. They get to the point where they're just testing every little thing and improving by increments. It's not about, I'm going to do that one thing that all of a sudden I go from making $1,000 a month to $100,000 a month. Most people, they get there by just, those incremental changes and figuring out how to go from 2% to 5% conversion, 5% to 7% conversion at each of the different points. And, the other thing that this is why this is important is because if at any point you're looking at your income and your statistics, and all of a sudden your income one month takes a dip, or maybe 2 or 3 months in a row, and so you're going, whoa, what's going on here? Well, you can just go back and look at the numbers. You just start at the beginning of the sales funnel and go, okay, well, let's look at the amount of traffic. Did that change? Let's look at the number of people converting to my email list. Did that change? Let's look at the number of people getting through the autoresponder series. Did that change at all? Well, how many people are hitting the sales page? Did that go down? So you can see all of a sudden at what exact point everything broke down. And you might all of a sudden discover, whoa, okay, maybe it'll be just a technical thing that you discover that went wrong. Or you might just find out that for whatever reason, some of your traffic stopped coming in. Or for whatever reason, your particular sales page stopped working as well because the market shifted, the market changed. We used to talk a lot in our opt-in about lifestyle design. Design your ideal lifestyle. Well, over the last few years, especially with a lot of what's gone on in the world, in the economy, and the kinds of worries that people have on their minds now, well, the conversation going on in the minds of our consumer has shifted. People are now just, I just want a little more control in my life. I'm just worried about a little extra cash flow right now. So thinking ahead to this whole, hey, let's design this grand lifestyle for yourself. It's more than people are actually really thinking about right now. Right now, they just want to know how to have more control and more time in their lives to, pay those extra bills and get by better, and then maybe actually get out of the job eventually. So we wanted to speak to that more. And that's just a shift that we started noticing because we were looking at the numbers, and then we started surveying and asking around and asking ourselves, okay, well, why did the numbers change? Why did they shift? And so again, it just comes back to a very scientific way of building your business and the way to build the most viable business for life in the end. So there you go. There's how the whole conversion piece of this works. So, our challenge to you would go ahead and pick one thing in your business right now that you can start split testing, and just find the right tool. So if you're going to split test your email opt-ins, well, then use Aweber and their there are different web form split testing that you can do. Or if you want to try 2 different sales pages, well, then try signing up for Visual Website Optimizer and give that a try. But, find something right now. I mean, you're not going to be able to, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, there's 10 or 15 things I need to go and start split testing. Well, just start with one right now. And over time, you'll get this all built up. It doesn't have to happen all at once, but it is important to start now. So just take, out of everything that we just recommended, whether it's your opt-in headline, whether it's your sales page, text versus video, or your sales page headline, just pick one thing, pick one tool, get that set up and get this going, because at one step at a time, you are going to reach that point of incrementally boosting your income through converting more cash. All right, this episode's breakthrough comes from Academy member who goes by the name of Jamie. And he writes in and says, before getting to my breakthrough, I just want to share a quick story of my journey to Internet Business Mastery. Around March of 2009, I found the podcast while originally looking for a podcast about network marketing. I became a faithful listener and finally signed up in November of 2009. I continued to listen and work, apply a little here and there, and while doing this, I began to formulate a niche for my business. The crazy thing is my niche was right in front of me. Watching the videos and reading the posts from others only helped to boost my confidence. In January of 2011, I relaunched my website, changing it to the WordPress theme. I consolidated my email signups to one account and will be interviewing my first virtual assistant next week. Those are not big breakthroughs, but for me, they are huge because I battled with time constraints, fear, and overwhelm, especially being an active duty soldier in the Army, family, church, and other obligations. There are so many reasons to quit, but also so many reasons to keep going that by far outweigh the reasons to quit. And that comes from Jamie, who you can find at jmayonline.com. So thanks for sending that in, Jamie. There's a couple reasons we wanted to share this breakthrough. It just, that perseverance is important. You just stick at it. You keep going, even though you get busy. And even though sometimes you might not be able to get to your business as much as you think, just bit by bit, you can finally get there. And I love the fact that he chose to, rejoice in these things that may seem, he says, yeah, these may seem small, but you know what? That's a big deal. Finally getting your site up and interviewing a virtual assistant. These are all important steps to reaching that next level of success. So congratulations on that, Jamie, and thank you for sharing your progress with us. We love hearing, how people are coming along, no matter where they are in the process, no matter big or small the accomplishment. If it feels like a big deal to you, then we love hearing about it, and I'm sure others do as well.
Well, and I'd like to make the point that what you've done is actually might be the 2 or 3 biggest breakthroughs you could possibly have in starting your internet business. Clearly getting your site up. There can't be any other breakthroughs without that, really. The big ones. And getting an email list, well, these things, and getting a virtual assistant to make it so you don't have to do all these things in the future might be the biggest breakthroughs in the beginning, if not the biggest breakthroughs. So just keep that in mind. They aren't small at all. They're the biggest ones. So good job getting through those. Most people don't, by the way. In fact, more than 90% don't even do that. So good job for getting through the biggest breakthroughs possible.
It's time for the Internet Business Quick Tip.
Sterling, I thought it'd be cool for us to talk a little bit about the office chairs that we've chosen to use in our home office. We spend so much of our working hours sitting in front of a computer. The few hours that we do work a day, obviously it's important to be comfortable. And I know I spared no expense when I bought mine, and you did very similar. So maybe tell us a little bit about the chair that you've picked out for yourself there.
First thing that came to mind is, wow, office chairs, exciting. Okay, it is exciting. The office chair that I picked was based on when I worked back at E! Entertainment and then finally Warner Brothers, all the editor people. They always had these really high-end chairs. And when I started the business, I always went, oh man, to have that amazing comfort. I had no idea at the time how much the chairs were. And then I went and looked and went, oh my gosh, I've never paid more than, I would go to Office Max and buy one of those crummy little chairs for $150 and thought that was really expensive, but then wondered why it was so completely uncomfortable. So,
right.
It was one of those, it's also one of those things too, where to get enough money coming in where you can actually go, okay, I'm going to spend, just under $1,000 for a chair, reminds me of when I bought my first piece of art. Like, you've got to be definitely at a certain place in your life to spend money on art, to me. A nice big painting on the wall that's actually a painting. Well, it was the same thing with the chair, but I absolutely don't regret it at all. It was a nice point to get to. And of course, the comfort of the chair is awesome, which it's called a Herman Miller chair. Yeah, it's actually the chair itself is an Aeron chair, but it's at hermanmiller.com. And I know you have a different version of the chair, or what would you say, a different...
Yeah, it's just another one in their line. I mean, again, it's I got it for the comfort. I mean, in my mind, I was like, look, the comfort that I have when I'm sitting down and working, I want to be creative. I don't want to, get it from my work and feel all out of whack. I don't want to dread sitting down on my desk because that's where I sit down to make money. I mean, it was a complete investment in my well-being as well as in my business. I mean, I do think there's something to obviously ergonomics and making yourself comfortable. And I figure, if I'm years and years and years of doing this, I don't want to all of a sudden find out that I've got, some funky back thing or depriving my brain of blood or something when I'm sitting at my desk, whatever the case may be. I got a slightly different model. The one I got was the Embody chair, and I just thought it looked really cool because it looks like some kind of sci-fi thing off of the deck of the Star Trek, what do you call that? The bridge, like a seat on the bridge of the Enterprise or something. But I also sat in it. I went down to the store and sat in a bunch of them and just really, really liked it. And so anyway, there's some suggestions if people are wondering about office chairs. I thought it'd be interesting to give our endorsements. I mean, I've been sitting in this one now for a good year and a half, and I would buy it again. I've really enjoyed it. So
yeah, and I just bought the one that I had been using, 7 years before or whatever. And then I saw yours and I was like, oh, that's cooler. And then I'm like, who cares? What am I thinking? This looks cooler, I'm sure.
As long as
your
it's
nice, comfortable chair.
Darn right mine looks cooler. I was going to outdo you all the way.
There you go.
So you can check those out at hermanmiller.com.
Now, if you'd like dozens of other resources such as this one, you can find them in the Internet Business Mastery Academy, along with video tutorials showing you exactly how we use them. To get a 30-day no-risk trial membership to the Internet Business Mastery Academy, visit freeaudiogift.com. That's it for this episode of Internet Business Mastery. Until next time, we wish you ultimate success in your internet business.
You've been listening to the iconoclasts of the 9 to 5 and the purveyors of freedom and fulfillment, Sterling and Jay. Sterling and Jay invite you to discover one of their most popular audio programs ever. The 3 pillars of designing your ultimate internet lifestyle. Visit freeaudiogift.com now and sign up for the free weekly Internet Business Mastery email newsletter. And you'll get instant access to this life-changing audio presentation, pulled directly from the content of the acclaimed Internet Business Mastery Academy membership community. Go now to freeaudiogift.com. Internet Business Mastery. Free your mind.